What's going on in Canucks Nation? Rumors are swirling that a big-name player could be on the move, and the clock is ticking down to the trade deadline. Are we about to witness a seismic shift in our roster, as the Canucks find themselves in a tough spot? Teams are eyeing our star with offers that just don't cut it. Will management hold out for what he's truly worth? Or will we see him traded away for a fraction of his value? This is a pivotal moment for our team, and it's time to dive deep into what it all means for our chances this season. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button so you don't miss any updates on the future of the Vancouver Canucks. With the NHL trade deadline looming, the situation surrounding JT Miller and the Vancouver Canucks is heating up, and it's a topic that's hard to ignore for any passionate Canucks fan. Reports suggest that teams like the New York Rangers, Carolina Hurricanes, and even the New Jersey Devils are interested in Miller, but the offers coming in are less than what Vancouver had hoped for. It's a classic case of teams trying to buy low, and this puts the Canucks in a really tough spot. Jim Rutherford, the Canucks president, is known for being aggressive, and right now, he's in a position where he needs to make a move. But what's important to remember is that the teams interested in Miller are aware of the Canucks' situation. They see a team that's perhaps a bit desperate to make a deal, and they're using that to their advantage. It's frustrating, to say the least. I mean, as fans, we want to see our team get fair value for one of their top players. But the reality is that other teams are hoping to snag him for significantly less. Now, let's talk about the implications of this. If the Canucks decide to hold out for a fair deal, they risk losing leverage as the trade deadline approaches. Each game that passes without a resolution could affect the team's performance and morale, not to mention the potential playoff implications. On the flip side, if they decide to take a lower offer just to get a deal done, they might be giving away a valuable asset at a time when they really need to be building for the future. Kyprios's comments about the Canucks getting nickel and dimed are spot on. It's a tough pill to swallow as a fan, knowing that other teams are essentially trying to exploit the Canucks' predicament. The Rangers have already indicated they're not willing to take on Miller's full contract, which complicates matters further. What does this say about how other teams perceive Vancouver? Is it a lack of respect for our roster, or is it simply smart business on their part? Honestly, I'm torn on this one. The interest from the Hurricanes and Devils does indicate that Miller is seen as a valuable player when he's engaged, and there's no doubt about his talent. But we also have to consider what the Canucks would be getting in return. Reports suggest that these teams are unwilling to part with key roster pieces, meaning the return could be underwhelming. We can't afford to trade away a player of Miller's caliber and not get a significant impact player back. It's a precarious balance that the Canucks' management has to navigate, and it's one that could have lasting effects on the franchise. As a fan, the decisions made in the coming weeks will shape not only the immediate future, but also the long-term trajectory of the team. It's all about finding that balance between making a move that could benefit the team now, while also considering the future. If the Canucks can land a solid deal that brings in some impactful players or prospects, it could pay off down the road. But if they mishandle this situation, it could set the franchise back even further. The Boston Bruins have surfaced as a surprising dark horse in the ongoing JT Miller trade discussions, and as a passionate Vancouver Canucks fan, this is something that definitely gets my attention. NHL insider Frank Saravalli recently dropped this nugget during a segment on Sports on Prime Canada, pointing out that, while the Bruins haven't been at the forefront of Miller trade rumors, their pressing need for a top-tier center makes them a team to watch. Lurking in the weeds, he called them, and I can't help but feel a mixture of intrigue and concern for our Canucks. Miller, now 31, is under contract for another 7 years at $56 million, which makes him a significant asset, but also a complicated one given the Canucks' current situation. The trade chatter has been buzzing for weeks, especially after a deal with the New York Rangers fell apart recently due to complications with draft pick protections. This could very well open the door for other teams, like the Bruins, to swoop in and make their move. It's fascinating to think about how the Canucks are approaching this. They seem willing to accept futures-focused returns, such as draft picks and prospects. This is a pivotal moment in the franchise's trajectory. Now, let's talk about the Bruins. They improved their record to 24-26 with a recent win, but they're at a crossroads. While they're currently sitting third in the Atlantic Division, they struggle in key areas: goals scored, power play efficiency, and penalty killing all rank near the bottom of the league. If they're looking to make a postseason push, adding a player like Miller could be a game changer for them. But what does this mean for our beloved Canucks? There's a lot at stake here. The Bruins president, Cam Neely, and general manager, Don Sweeney, have hinted at possibly retooling the roster based on the season's progression. Their dual approach of buying or retooling shows they're keeping their options open, and that could be concerning for us as Canucks fans. Are they gearing up for a serious bid for Miller? Do they see him as the key to unlocking their potential? Honestly, I'm torn on this. Miller has been a pivotal player for us, and the thought of him in a Bruins jersey sends shivers down my spine. Miller's impact on the ice has been undeniable. He's a dynamic forward who can change the course of a game. However, if the Canucks decide to move him, it could signal a broader shift in the organization. Are we ready for that kind of change? Fans have been through so much over the years, and the emotional investment in players like Miller is significant. Losing him would be tough, but could it also pave the way for a brighter future filled with young talent? In the grand scheme of things, the Canucks seem to be at a turning point. The front office's willingness to accept a futures-focused return could indicate a commitment to rebuilding and creating a sustainable roster. But here's the rub. Do we believe this is the right path? It's a gamble, and I want to hear from you, the fans. This is our team, and we need to stand together. What do you think about the Bruins sniffing around Miller? Is this the best decision for the Canucks to make? We've all invested so much in this team, and the choices made now will shape our future. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Are you in favor of trading Miller for prospects and picks, or do you think we should hold on to him in hopes of contending this season? Your opinions matter. Let's get this discussion going. And remember, don't forget to activate that notification bell to get all the latest updates. Like, share, and subscribe to stay connected as we navigate these turbulent waters together. The future of the Vancouver Canucks is in our hands,